Hello everyone, back again with a service call on this for real machine. This is a milkshake blender. As you can see, the way this system works is customers can choose the milkshake flavor that they want. That's here in the freezer, in this freezer compartment, and then they come over here and they remove the top of the container, place it in this cup holder, and then this cup holder rises up and the blender does its thing on the inside there. Just to show you a few things, this is the front screen, which you won't see right now because we're leaving it unplugged, but it has a control panel inside here. There's a board just behind here for the controls, and there's also some boards on the left side panel, which I won't get into right now because I got to get started on this job, changing out a boiler tank. And this is the inside of the blending area, blending chamber. And it has a power switch right there, just to kind of let you know where some of the parts are. So what I have to do is I have to remove this side panel. It's on the left side of the machine. I'll be removing the left side panel and the rear panel, and then I'll proceed into replacing that boiler tank. Now the description that they use for what I call the boiler tank, it's called a Scour heater. So it's basically boils the water and then sends once the water boils, it moves up to a steam tank, steam heater just above it, and then from there all that hot water shoots into the cup that has the product in it to allow it to mix into a milkshake. But give me a moment. I'm going to pause for a second and then get right back to it. Okay, so you have basically everything is pretty much set up. I just want to go over a few of the components in here. First, I want to show you, this is this gray tube right here. This is the drain line, and I'll show it to you as we go, but it actually feeds up through this little crevice right here, this opening right here, feeds right through, and then it connects up to the drain, which is actually coming out of the that front compartment that I showed you earlier, that front cabinet area. I take that off to give me more room to take this rear bottom rear panel off. This is separate from the actual back panel, which goes right here. I've already taken that off. So this panel has 6 screws, 3 on each side. They come off. I disconnect my water line from it right here. This is the inlet line that has a quick disconnect, so you just press a button, a silver tab, and then it pops right out for you. And then here, this will make it possible so I could be able to work along in this area right here. So the area we're going to be working in is right here. This is the Scour heater. This Scour heater is going to get replaced. It has some water damage on the high limits, so it was going into an error code. So the customer asked us to replace it, or the manufacturer actually asked us to replace it. like I said, this is the inlet line right here. Comes up, water comes up through here, feeds through this flow valve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this line, and there's a blue tab right here, and you just pull up on the blue tab. It pulls right up, and then you just take the line and then just kind of work it out right there, and that way you can set this whole cover assembly to the side. Okay, and then you can kind of see a little better. So right here, this is the Scour heater that we're going to replace. As you can see, it has a few connections. It has a connection right here to the Procon pump, which is down below. It's the brass fitting. It's this brass fitting right here, and that's the Procon pump. That line connects right there, and then there's another line that connects directly to the outlet side of the flow valve. So what I'll be doing is I'm gonna clamp off right here, disconnect this line from the fitting. Then I'm gonna clamp off here and disconnect this line from the fitting. So I'm gonna have two clamps. The reason why I use the clamps is because these tanks are full of water, and there's really no way to drain them until you actually have them removed from the unit. So we're going to do that, and then we'll go from there to replacing it. Now what I want to show you is these are kind of like some pre-steps that I take just to keep things kind of simple when switching these out. These have wires going to them. I always disconnect my wires. They're pretty simple, so just, you know, remember where you had them. This one here was on the top of the heater. This one is on the bottom of that assembly of that heater, the bottom of the high limit. And you can see where it's gotten that water damage. You know, little stains from the water on it, on the terminal, but more than likely it's just like rust that built up. The line is fine. So I'll put those aside right now. And we have our ground wire. I just disconnect that. The other one comes with a ground wire already on it that you can just connect right to it. Then down below, right here, we have another sensor probe that has two wires on it. I'm going to disconnect those. Sit those out of the way. So red and a white wire. And then here I have two wires going to another high limit that's on this tank, and it's got some damage from the water. Those two right there. So we have two blacks, two reds, and a black and white wire. Also, this is a probe going to this upper steamer heater. I'm going to disconnect that wire too. It's just a black two-wire terminal. I'm going to disconnect that so that I have, you know, all the wires out of the way. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this line right here. And there will be some water in there. I'll probably clamp this off first, take this off, because this whole assembly will actually slide. It will actually slide out to the right-hand side. So I'm going to show you that. the way that works now. Just have to. Okay, yeah. Right here is the side view. This is the screw that holds this whole assembly in. So I'm going to take that screw out, and then this whole assembly will slide out. Okay. Give me a second. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit so that glare. Okay, hopefully you can see that pretty good. All right, I have my line clamped off here. Got that clamp right there, and gonna disconnect this line. This water line is an inlet line. It's going to another inlet valve right here, which opens up and goes through this line to what is called a metering valve. So this metering valve, it actually communicates with the board, the circuit board, to let it know how many ounces of water are going through the system at any time, so that the system knows that it's got the correct water pressure and the correct water flow going through it. And then from that metering cup, it goes into the steam heater, the steamer heater, and then from there, the water shoots up this tube right here and goes into the chamber where the milkshakes are getting blended. So right now I'm going to get into this and get this disconnected. Yeah, like I said, you'll always get some water. I don't like to clamp off these lines a lot, but I also try to keep my area as clean as possible, with as far as a bunch of water going all over the place. So I just clamp off my lines so that not too much water is coming out. And I always have my my bucket handy so that I could just kind of let whatever water's in that line drop out, and kind of helps keep things a little more clean. Yeah, there was a lot of leakage in here, so it's you may see a lot of water spots and stuff like that. But once this gets replaced, it's going to be fine, because this unit, it has a modem connected to it, and that modem, it's in the front. I'll show that to you after we get through this. But that modem communicates with the tech support department for real. So they're able to communicate with the machines, and the machines communicate with them when something's wrong. So what was coming up was an era 78, which is a Scour heater era. So that's how they kind of knew what to send. And the good thing about For Real is they send the parts directly to the site, and then when the parts arrive at the site, you get a message saying that they got the part that you need. So now I'm going to go ahead and slide this out. Be careful of your wires. There is a little tie off right here that you can pull these black wires out just to give you enough room to slide it out. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so this should be enough room for me to get those nuts off, those screws loosened. And that's a good thing. Sometimes you don't really have a lot of room on the counter, but luckily this counter has a lot of space, so I figured this would be a nice way to present it. Give me a second. Let me try to straighten it out so you can see the tank and everything. Okay. So I clamped off up here so that I don't get a lot of water. Then I'm gonna unscrew the clamp, then loosen it up. Then I'm gonna do the same for this one. These are screw-in clamps. These aren't those Oetiker clamps, so you don't really need a special tool for these type of clamps. You probably can already see some water coming out, so I'll just put something underneath there to catch it a little bit. Okay, I got the clamp loose here. Slide that down, see if I can loosen up the there we go. All right, so that line is off of there, and that's just a plastic 3/8 T fitting right here, so that you have these three lines connected. It's a good thing to have a few clamps, because you know, like this, I need to use three clamps, so it's a good thing to have a few of these. I mean, it helps as far as not having to do one line at a time and stuff like that. Now I'm just getting this next line removed. I'm going to remove my clamp. On these machines, just to let you know, if you're familiar with those Oetiker clamps, Oetiker clamps, they're good. I use them all the time. But on these machines, because you can see this is like all confined, a confined area. These screw-on clamps, in my opinion, are a lot better, easier to work with than the Oetiker clamps. Give me a second. There we go. Okay, so now I have both of these lines are off. Take the clamps off, set them aside for now. The manufacturer does send new clamps with these, so if you can always use the new clamps, or if these used clamps seem to be in good shape, you can use those also. Let me just show you here. Move this tank. The two screws are right back here, and these are like Allen screws. So you need to have a Allen key set to get in those. I'm not too sure on the actual size. Yeah, I'm not too sure on the actual size of the Allen screw, but you can figure it out just by trial and error. You know how that goes. If you've been in the field, you figure things out. So I just wanted to show you that's where those screws are at, and I'm going to get that set up so I can remove those screws. You didn't ask for the days off and everything on your proposal. Okay, just to show you, I don't know if you can see it, but this is the safety. This is a safety bit that I use. I use these on the turbo shafts a lot. Only thing is the size of it has rubbed off, so I can't really tell what size it is. But if you have a set of the safety bits, and I say safety because some companies use those now, where they have like a little stem in the middle of the screw, and then this bit, it'll fit over that stem, and then you can screw it out. And they call them like safety screws. But if you're familiar with these safety bit sets, you can get a set of those and use it on those screws in the back that I just showed you. So that's just, hopefully that's some helpful information. But I'll get these loosened up now. All right. And there we go. We got the tank is out. This is the tank. Give you a look at that. The Scour heater, this is called. And I had damage. You can see the water damage to this high limit here. And then there's a little water damage on this high limit also. See how the terminals all coated up, so that will cause it to fail. I'm going to show you here. See the force of that water that came out, and then there's like always a lot of water in these. So that's why I always, if you do these, always bring in a bucket with you if you're gonna have to work on a tank. It just seems like, you know, when you disconnect that tank, it just goes all over the place, you know. Hey, I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Good. All right, this is the new tank. You can see both of those high limits there. That bottom probe sensor. Okay. All there. And they give you the 2 lines along with it, and 2 new clamps too. They also put two of those screws in there too, but the ones that are in there are fine, so I'll use those. And you remember how this line here goes right to the T, that T right there, okay? You know, and I don't know if most of you are independent contractors or if you work for a company. Jobs like this, they take time. So, and I always tell guys, don't rush. Don't rush through the job. I know how it is. You know, you're trying to get through, get done, get home, but you know, it's better off that if you know, just take your time, get the job done as best as you can, get it done right, you know, and you know, don't rush through it, because in my experience, you know, when you rush through it, you end up missing things, you know, things that you wouldn't normally miss, you know what I mean? So it's just some friendly advice, you know, just take your time. Okay, I got that line connected to the T. Now I'm connecting to the Procon pump, the other line. I'm probably covering the screen. I'll let you see this in a moment. I just want to make sure I got this clamp on good, because the water comes out of here very, very strong, and I don't want it to pop off or something like that and flood the place. All right. It all looks like we're all set. Got the line on the T with the clamp right there. Got the other line is on. Give me a second, let me straighten it out. Right there at the bottom. That one's on there. That one's on there good. Okay. Put our get that assembly back in there and connect everything back up. So it's kind of like you're just doing everything in reverse now. All right. You see how that slid in there? Slid in fine. First thing I'm going to connect is my ground wire for this tank. The other day I was in here, I was replacing this tank because there was a leak right from here. This fitting right here, it was a different fitting, and it was leaking. That's where most of the water damage came from, was the leak from here. So the other day I was in here doing this, and then I noticed all of the damage on the tank on the bottom. So I called the customer and sent them pictures of the damage, and they agreed with me to go ahead and change out that tank too. And I even tested it out, and it did go into a era for a bad Scour heater. So that's just one of the things with, the company provides the parts. So if you do find something, they like to know about it, They definitely like to know about it. So this one here. The thing that I'm a little wary of right now is I'm not sure if from this damage, if it caused any damage to the boards that are on this side. There's a upper and a lower circuit board, main circuit board on this behind this panel. So this is that kind of thing where you just have to go ahead and do the repair, and then once we start it up, it'll go through its cycle, and we'll be able to see if there's anything wrong, if there's anything else. Okay. Okay, all the wires are back in. Those are all ready to go. And I'm just going to put that screw in there. Put that screw in there. And then, remember we took this off, so now I'm going to go ahead and remount this fitting. I think I should be all right to take this clamp off now. Most of the water has purged out. We want this tight, but not overly tight, because this is a plastic fitting and these things can crack with the slightest tension. So just be careful with that. Make sure you don't get it too tight. So that's all set now. Gotta have our new tank. Our wiring is good. Our fitting is back in. These are good. Just gonna go put the panel back on here. This is the inlet fitting that we took out. I'm gonna place that back in. And see if you can see it. See that little blue tab right there? That's the lock-in tab. So push down and then it locks right in place. So not too bad. Yeah. Get a couple of these screws in there for now. Then after this, I'm going to put in, going to reconnect that drain line that I took off.
Very good.
Okay. Now we're ready to go with this drain line here. So that drain line, it has slack. Right now I pulled it out of the floor drain that it goes into. I pulled it out of there, but I'll put it back in before I even start this up. But I just wanted to get enough slack so I can make sure I got it back on there right. But this is how that drain line looks, and like I said, it fits right through this this opening right here. Just pull it up, and then you have the drain right there. I'll show it to you once I get this in. Just want to make sure I got this locked down good. This is the clamp here. You just really want to make sure you got it. You have it tight, fairly tight. You don't want to over tighten it, but you want it tight enough so that you feel comfortable that it's not gonna just pop off when it goes to drain, because these have a powerful drainage. They have a lot of pressure when they drain during the sanitize cycle and the cleaning cycle. So I have seen them where these have popped right off, and then water is all over the place inside the store. I just try and give it a little tug. Let you take a look at it. So it's right there. This right here, this is the drain line. It's connected, and that's fairly tight. So I usually, it's a screw down clamp, so I usually try to face it out so it's easy access to it. Okay, so just give me a moment. We got everything's pretty much ready to go. I'm gonna grab this is my water line. As you can see, it's like John Guest shut off, and then this is the factory water inlet fitting. And like I said, it's a quick disconnect, so you push it up onto the inlet fitting, and then if you want to release it, you just press this silver tab, and then it pops right off for you. So I'm going to put that in right now, and then turn on the water so we could see if there's any leaks or anything that I need to take care of before I put the covers on. So that's it. Goes right in there. Just sticks right in. And now I'm going to turn on my water. Looks good so far. Okay. All right, looks good so far. I'm gonna go ahead and put my drain line in. I'm gonna just turn this a little bit so I can put the drain line in, and then we'll plug it in and see what it does. I'm gonna make sure everything's functional on it, and then get it started up and run it through a test. Let it, because it's going to take a few minutes to do. It's going to have to do a sanitize, and then it does like a 15-minute deep clean. So it takes a little bit once you start them back up. me to plug it in. And this is running off of 120, by the way. All right, got it started up now. It's going to take a moment to boot up and everything. Let you see the screen. You can see this right here. This is the modem that they install. So this is what communicates to the manufacturer tech support department. That's a modem, and that sends them all the information they need. Even when I do this sample, I'm going to get one of these and put it in there after it goes through its cleaning and everything, and then they'll be able to see that'll register over in their area, their office, I mean, and that's a pretty good thing because it lets them know everything. Let you see what it's. So it's about to start initializing. It's going to initialize, and then after initialization, then it'll go into a deep clean mode. That sound you just heard, that was this. It was testing the cup holder. So right now it's filling with water. I'm just searching around here just to make sure there's no drips or leakage or anything like that. Sometimes after you've emptied the water out of these, sometimes it will go into an error because the tank's not fully filled yet. If that does happen, usually you can just shut it down, turn it back on, and then it'll reset. That was just that metering device that I showed you up here, right here. That was that metering device with the water going through it. And when it does that, that's when it lets the machine know that it's got enough water pressure and enough water flowing through. So then it'll go into the deep cleaning mode, which is 10 minutes right now. So right now, it's a little noisy, but right now what it's doing is water is running through those lines and then going out of that drain line that we put in. So that's why it's important to make sure that drain line is in place, which you can see it's right down here. And the drain line and the water filter system's all there. So this is like 10 minutes. What I'll do is we'll come back once this is ready to go, and we should be good to go, and I'll button it up. Thank you. Be right back. Okay, everyone, and we're ready to go now. The unit is ready. I have a test flavor to blend. I still have the side panel off right now, only because I am still on the line with the manufacturer. They're running tests, as I'm working on it right now. So I told him I'm about to start this test blend, so I'm just gonna get that started now. But what you do is you pull your flavor out of the freezer there, and then peel off the top. Excuse me, I'm doing this one-handed. I want to show you what it looks like inside there too. There you go. Peel off the top, and then you have your product inside there. Then the product cup and all sits right inside the cup holder like that. And you sit it down, and then you can twist it, and then it locks in. And then you go from there. You have thin. Oops, I did thin, but usually I like to do regular, but that's okay. You have thin, regular, and then thick. I hit thin by mistake, but that's all right. Okay, well, I'm back. I just got off of the line with tech support, because after I did that test blend that you saw, it went through good. The blend was good, came out okay, but it went back into another era. And I spoke with tech support, and this is what was happening is that Scour heater that I put in, it's a good Scour heater, but the thing is that these wires, these two wires right here that we put on the bottom, these two red wires, and you remember on the old tank, they had corrosion on them. See that one there on the bottom? So they had water damage. And then I was saying earlier that I was kind of curious why they didn't send out a board with this because of the water damage. But it turns out that those two wires, they come over here. This is the right side that I told you I would go over later at some other time. But you can see it's the power supply and the two control boards, upper control board and the lower control board. And I just wanted to show you what I found was these are the wires that are going over there that I just showed you. See, there's four. This is a red terminal, and it's got four wires. It's got two orange and two red. Now, let me take you back over here and see, this is the harness. Okay, that's the two orange and the two red. So these four wires, they run through over to the right side, and they connect to the same terminal. So what happened, you can see, see right there, see how it burnt? It's like it melted, or sediment got on it. I don't know from the water or from the heat or something, but it definitely is causing it to go back into an error. So because it's not reading correctly. So what's going to be done is the manufacturer is going to send out a new board, a new lower board, and you never know, maybe I'll be able to come out and do it, and then this could be, you know, a nice another video that we could do for you. And then he's going to send out a new a new harness and a new board, and then I'm going to come back and replace that. But for now, I'm going to shut it down, and I'm going to keep it shut down until I get back and replace the harness and that lower board, possibly. What I'm going to what we agreed on was, when I get the harness, I'm gonna, because the wires down here that this connects to this bottom, it connects right there to this bottom terminal right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that that new harness, put it in, run it through here, connect it, and then I'm gonna start everything up, and then I'm gonna go into a test mode to check the temperature on that. If the temperature on that Scour heater, once it goes through the deep clean and the sanitizing, once it goes through that, it should only reach up to no higher than 110 degrees. And this one was at 174, so it's getting too high, and that's what's causing it to go into the error. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know it's a lot of time on it, but I think this was some valuable information, and I'll get back to you guys on this one. Maybe there'll be another video in it. All right. So I thank you for watching. Take care, stay blessed, and be well.